All right, starting recording. I checked back. I looked back at my uh footage just to make sure everything's good. I'm still having the problem where if I turn my mouth even slightly away from this fucking microphone, it just obliterates any concept of my sound. So I need to come up with like a new position for it so that it's like just like right at my mouth. Well, 11 went by and nothing happened. So that would work, but the um I'm gonna switch over to my TV so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so my microphone sits on a boom arm, which is like rigid coil. It wasn't originally designed for a microphone. It was originally for mounting a webcam, but I taped the microphone stand to it, and it works fine. Problem is the part of the coil at the very end is broken, like it's like given out. Um, so if I let go, it just flops right down, and that's why I've got like all these like strings tied up. But my idea right now, real quick, is to move the key move the keyboard over there. This book, that book will be fine there. Good thing I got a lot of hardback Stephen King's laying around. Turn you that way. Ah! Oh man, I want the technology from Deliver Us Mars. I was playing that a while back because it was leaving PlayStation Plus and I wanted to get the platinum. And they got like this technology where they can send electricity through like these laser beams. Um, I want that. All right, so the microphone setting up on. All right, that should theoretically be a little bit better. And if it ends up working out, then that'll just be my solution. I mean, I've never had a problem with hackneyed solutions to problems. I can MacGyver it up. Doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to work. My way, in case you didn't see, sporting the gorillas today. All right, everything's good. So let's switch source back over to PlayStation. All right, where are we? Let's check this room since it's a dead end. And as I thought, if it's a dead end, then I'm gonna take the 4 items as opposed to the items for sale because I don't got a ton of money. I got 2 dice. I got a opens electronically powered security doors. Isn't there one outside? I want to think that there's one outside. Key. I'm actually. Wait, what do keys do? Now, now I'm forgetting what they do. Are they for creating new rooms? My brain is just completely and utterly fuck farted. Was the 2 dice did the 2 dice count as one item? I think the 2 dice might have counted as one item. Mount or desert hills. Yeah, I think the 2 dice counted as one item. All right, well, I've got plenty of steps in me, so let's head back. Let's head to that um door that's near uh um the campsite and see if that needs the security guard. No? Alright, there doesn't seem to be anything I can use on that, so maybe I just open that from inside the house. It would be nice if I could teleport to a room that I've already like created. Like obviously have it calculate how many steps it would take to get there and deduct those many steps. Um so you're not like cheating the system, but that'd be nice to be able to. Just a thought in my thought brainer. My brainer raider, thought raider, shake a dater. Do I finally give in and check out the queen and ace room? Breaker box, hallway, nursery. Whenever you draft a bedroom, gain 5. I get the feeling that things like that are going to be more helpful as I get further into the game and uh, are able to make it further in. All right, redraw. You may draw new floor plans while drafting this room. Eh, I don't know what you. Let's just go with the fucking spare bedroom. I don't know what those are. And besides, we'll find out on the next day if those were I was hoping I could pick that up and do some painting. storefront. So +1 of everything. Tag that says 10. Just wrote down the price tag of the painting says 10. Like this right here. All right, Den. Show me what you got. Corridor is always left unlocked. Excuse you? No. Back up. You seem to be implying that there's doors that are going to get locked. Maybe that's what the keys are for. At certain points, sometimes doors get locked or something, and that's what I need the keys for. Well, let's go to the commissary. See what I can buy. This commissary will be closed from day 12 to day 16. Fuck you. I get the feeling that there's like a system, like maybe I'm actually meant to like start a new game at some point, and there's going to be more things like this where things happen on certain days. With bird, without paddle. What? Effective the first week of December, payroll for all live out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning at roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. Two of these terminals can be found at the security where the punch clock used to be and in the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to the house manager, Mrs. Babbage. Password. Don't I have a key card? I don't think that's a clock in type of card. Can I play Dirigiblocks? But I want to play Dirigiblocks. Note to game developers: do not put an arcade machine in your game as like just backdrop, as like decoration, if you're not gonna take the time to program some little, that gotta be good, just some little fucking Atari fucking type game that salt shaker, compass, shovel, sledgehammer. What's a salt shaker do? Compass, I don't know why I would need. Shovel, I don't know why I would need. The only thing I can think is that the sledgehammer will let me through that door outside that's like all boarded up. So I guess I'll just save up for the sledgehammer. Shit. Redraw. 1 star for each time you've drafted observatory. Okay. Whenever you enter this room. Okay, let's draft the observatory. Because apparently now I've got a star. Oh. The fixed stars, constellations. This book contains a complete star base, a list of constellations, and the observed effects that accompany the appearance of each one, depending on the number of stars that can be seen in the sky on any given day. Different constellations of various sizes may be visible. Book a solid base for your astronomy will help you easily identify these constellations, impress your friends, and discover the joy of stargazing. North Star, 1 gold. The twins, 2 trunks have been added to the entrance hall. The slice, 3 steps. You know what? So that I don't have to draft an observatory every time I want to find out this information, I'm going to copy it down. One star equals plus 1 gold. Twin. Yeah. Twin. Twin. 2 trunks added to entrance hall. Slice plus 3 steps. Round minor plus 1 gem. Southern Cross. Rooms with 4 doors are more common today. Farmers apple. Apples are extra delicious. Which I assume means they give more steps. Lavis, the key, one key. Still don't know what keys do. I feel like at one point I figured it out and then it's just slipped away. Oh, okay. Yo, mom, just me. Plus 5 shares. Oh, fuck. There's more. Fuck me. Rack sus. Good dead. Dead in rooms. Calm. Depending on how much I enjoy this as I go forward, I might do what I don't do anymore and really didn't plan on ever really doing much more is just take all this footage and edit together into just the interesting bits. But that's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of rendering. Better just like leave it as it is and just say, just watch it during down moments like this. Just chill. Give you a chance to get up and take a piss or something. David, I know you're bursting for one. Go ahead. I love that the idea that he comments on this. God damn it! I wasn't until you said it. Okay. The sale. 50% off. Sale. And then the fuck is that even? Fucking feel like the person that was designing these kind of ran out of ideas. All right, there's my depiction of fucking that. All right. I probably didn't even need to memorize the shapes. I probably just needed to remember the fucking number of fucking stars. So let's go up here and see what's going on. Eh. What the fuck you think you're gonna spy that way? Oh, what if there's like a puzzle where I do gotta point it really low and like point it in a certain direction and then I can. Look, not to be a dick, but I feel like I'm not being allowed to use this the way it's meant to be used. I feel like that option is being. There we go. North Star, gain 1. Yeah. So hold on. I didn't need to write down those. I am so fucking stupid. I didn't need to write down any of that because the building the observatory, the whole effect of building it is that it entering it gives you a star. So what's going to happen is each time I make an observatory during this game, I'm just going to next observatory I make is going to be a twins and it's going to be a slice, and I'll have to like work around like some of the negative ones, like dead end rooms. I'll have to like do that on a day that like you know. I can afford the shovel now. Not that I have a fucking clue what the shovel's for. I wanted the damn sledgehammer, but here's the problem. I'm out of rooms. I'm completely out of rooms. So, and I'm going to lose my money and everything. So, might as well buy the shovel. And, look around outside for some holes. Although the holes are probably over in this area that I can't get to for some reason. Because it's not like I could just fucking. Here's my rule of thumb. All right, I get that like designing a game so that every barrier is realistic and every single thing that a person could realistically climb is like, I get that that's difficult to design. But my rule of thumb is if I've got a herniated disc, I can barely get out of bed some mornings. If my fucking fat broken ass could get across it, then it's a problem. All right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying on the subject. That's all I'm gonna say on that subject. All right. And I know if I get a sledgehammer, I'd be able to get through all that. So I guess this is like a roguelike. Wait, why is there a pipe? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Since when has there been a pipe here? What's the pipe leading to? I ain't gonna write it down, but I'm gonna keep that pipe in the back of my head. Alright. I don't see anything that looks like it could be a dirt mound. This I need. I'm assuming there's invisible walls preventing me from like brute forcing my way through all this. Which is fine. It'd be more frustrating than anything else if I could wiggle my way it a ways in there and then get lost. So yeah, what we are looking at is kind of a roguelike, but also with elements of like roguelite where like there are like the key difference, at least as far as I've always understood it, is the difference between a roguelike and a roguelite is a roguelike is 100% complete reset upon new game. Each run complete 100% reset. Roguelite has unlockable stuff. So we're talking about like your Binding of Isaacs and stuff. Most games are roguelites because for the simple fact that as much as I enjoyed Rogue and like I played a lot of NetHack back in the day, as much as I enjoyed that, it is a frustrating experience to make it so far, die, and then have nothing to show for it, and have a new game start where even the potions, like, you have to figure out what the potion. And I seem to remember there being a way to figure out what potions do without just taking one and hoping for the best. But you know, back in the day when like there weren't as many, like, we're spoiled for games. Like there's a lot more games now than there are back then than there were back then. You didn't have as much choice. Whereas today, if I want to play a roguelike type game, I'm spoiled for choice. So um asking someone to play something where they can put, a 3 hour run in and then nothing matters other than like the knowledge they've gained. But even then, a lot of things change, like what wands will cast what spells, what potions will have what effects. So much changes that it just feels like a waste of time. So it was a to me, as much as I know some people don't like it, it was a natural evolution of the genre to have some kind of unlockable that like progresses across runs. So not finding any dirt, not finding any shovelly shoe. I'm guessing the shovel will be for something inside, maybe the courtyard, That was a room that I could have unlocked, but I didn't have the prerequisites to unlock it. Still got to figure out the code for this. Got to figure out the code for that. Um, I know there's a lot of apples there, but uh, the note about the apples also had bananas and shit. So I don't think that's You dug up a secret floor plan. Would you like to permanently add it to add conservatory to your drafting pool? Adjust the rarity of the floor plans in your house. Yeah. I was just about to call it a day. I wonder if that's permanent or if like I can always get a shovel and come out here and get a goodie. Like it might not always be something permanent and crazy like that. It might just be like a couple coins or something. But I'm imagining maybe like that's like something. Call it, baby. Snug little college. Oh, I made it to snug little college cottage. Everything. So this game is basically House of Leaves if it were a cozy game. If it were a cozy story. All right. Ace, Queen. So yeah, that stays the same. So that is a clue of something I need to do over there. Billiard room. There's a puzzle in the billiard room. All right. I can't have any of the fucking blasphemy. I tell you, fucking blasphemy. What? So the actual billiards isn't. Yeah, pray for Freeman. Yeah, we know. 14, 15, 16. Do I press 17? And that was correct. I pressed 17 to count that up together. And then 12. Nope, that's not it. 12, 2, 17. Now, what do I do with this? Oh, that's triples. That's triples. That's hitting in the middle. That gives you either doubles or triples. Um, so 12 plus double 10, it doesn't go that high. That would be, if that's doubles, that would be 33. That's triples, that would be 43. Okay, let's brute force it until. Oh, it was 12 and then 10, so maybe it was that minus that. So okay, so 3 minus 1 is 2. Well, what are you doing to me now? 5 times 2 is 10. Is it times? It is times. Okay. 15 times 3 is 45 minus 10, but that there's not enough room for that. Shit. Or maybe it's 15 minus 10 times 3, so it'd be 15. Because 15 minus 10 is 5, and then 5 times 3. Hey! Look at me, Mr. Ginus. I feel special. Okay, what part of the area are we in? I'll go to the den because you always want to get a gem. It's always nice to have a gem as early as possible. And we still got this thing going on. That's not the same painting that was there before. Now you're telling me to come here when I have 4 stars? What do you mean come here when I have 4 stars? What the fuck are you talking about? I just need to keep an eye out on the floor because sometimes there's just coins just there. I want to get to the breaker box, but I don't want to waste this room that I'm trying to loop around to use up what's in the other areas. There was something on this table last time. I remember. Oh, I was wondering what that noise was. It was a fucking fireplace. I thought maybe if I used the touchpad, it might make something happen, but it didn't. Green rooms do not cost gems to draft. That's great. The West Wing Hall. Yeah, I guess that is worth it. Staff notes: out of respect for the late Lady Clara Epson, the West Wing would be closed until first notice. While the floor plans associated with this wing have not been removed from the pool, we ask that staff members refrain from drafting them during this period of mourning. I'd probably be using a bigger notebook. June 15th, 1983. Late Lady Clara Epstein. I mean, no offense, but like, how was I supposed to know you didn't want me to draw up 4 plans of the West Wing if the only message about that was in the 4 plans of the West Wing? Unless it's implying that if I do it again, something bad might happen. That's a distinct possibility. Oh. Let's go to the observatory again. Spinny spin spin. Spinny spin 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 spin. You spin me right down, baby, right down, like a baby, right down, baby. I wonder if there's any like rhyme or reason to where this lands. I don't know. Yeah, pair of chests added to the entrance hall. That's definitely a nice one to have. I'm still wondering what's up. Wait a minute. I was thinking like that different looking bit of area I could look through, and because I'm thinking, why would it let me move this if there wasn't some other place I could look? You get what I'm saying there? Let's go up. Can it crank any higher than it already was? No. Let's crank it down 1. From this angle, I'd probably have to get up on the... No. Get it up on the steps to be able to look through it. Oh, it won't because it's hitting that. Wait, hold on. What if now that it's up there, if I go up and try to look into it through the other angle? There's a hatch! There's a hatch! There's a hatch! Would you like to permanently add the planetarium? If you call it a day at a planetarium, you gain 2 stars. Ooh! I feel special that I figured something out. I knew that there had to be some reason why it was letting me turn this. You know what I'm saying? There had to be something. Had to be something that otherwise, if all it was to look out the thing, which yeah, it could have just been like an aesthetic, like little doodad to mess with. Like sometimes games have things you can do to that don't like have any like use within the game, but let you mess around. I still want to see if it goes down, if there's like one more down, and yeah, there is. I can't. Fast. Goes down even further. Too bad I can't step off the edge. Alright, what I need to do is I need to raise it up. Yeah, there ain't no way to get it to go down any further, because I'd have to, if I have it pointed that way, it will go down because of the steps, and if I have it that way, I can't come down past it to turn it. So, but did find me a secret. I feel special. Still don't know what the keys do, but in the parlor always screws me up. Well, let's go for it. Alright. The gems are in the true box. There is only one box in this room. Well, you're fucking full of shit. There are 4 boxes in this room. You're full of shit. Hold on, wait a minute. I should look around. See if there's like some random box off to the side. Well, it has to be this one because those 2 things are full of shit. Yep. I knew it. Door's locked. Okay, use a key. Passageway. Ooh. I don't want to use all my gems up on the passageway. And I still got 2 rooms in the entrance hall that I can use. If I didn't have any rooms left from the entrance hall, then I will use the passageway to get me some more rooms. Well, that's different. But it looks like I've exhausted what I have here, so let's head back. Wait. I didn't select a room there? Alright, fine. Food for sale. Well, I can't buy 5 apples right now. I mean, I'll do it just to see what the cost of the food was. Wait, where's the food for sale? Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't move the cursor over. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Let's go ahead and check out this breaker box. See what it's all about. Okay, keycard sentry system, VAC indicators. Man, I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. I don't. I my brain hurts really bad right now. It does. I did turn off the key card system and I turned on the lights to the garage. So maybe that building outside I can go into now. I mean, we need to head back to the to the uh main hall anyway because of the chests that have been added. Yep, use key. Damn, gems out the wazoo. Got some dice. And got some money. That's nice. It's neat that you have to plan like I assume you'd only be able to do one observatory per run. I don't think you'd be able to make two observatories in the building at once. I imagine once something like that's used, it's used for good that round. Oh, there's one on this side too. Uh, I was incorrect. This has not been lit up. Okay. Let's see if the um that door up by the campsite is open. See if me switching off the key card security system did anything. quickly check. Okay, that was permanent. All right. Where's the? Oh yeah. No. All right. We'll head back into the house. We've got one room that we haven't used yet. Um. Well, I kind of need to go Nook. Well, no, because Nook will just go to the utility closet. Let's redraw. Um. Kitchen, I guess. I mean hallway, I guess, because anything else is gonna like block off everything that's left. So doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. Oh, okay. And I'm guessing this is what happens when it's like bumping up against a door that already exists. No, you may draw new floor plans while drafting this room. I still don't know what that. Hi. Drawing floor plans. Each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans, from which you must select one to draft. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial three options. Is that saying that okay? Is that saying that when I go to open this door and if it wasn't blocked off, that door, I'll for free get the effect of the dice where I could like redo it? Yeah, I can redraw. Like because I can use the dice, but I can just use the effect of the room itself. Okay. I guess the commissary items for sale. That's a good place to check out. With rock without keys. Eh. Set of gems. What does a magnifying glass do? I know what a shovel does, and I don't need it anymore. I guess I'll go for the magnifying glass. Inspect documents of the estate more closely. Excuse me? X fucking excuse me? Oh, oh, Swan Song, Swan Song, Swan Song, Swan, almost choked. Swan Song, Swan Song, Swan Song is the terminal pass. Uh, 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 uh. I wonder if that was just for that, or if there's. See, I want to go back through and like check out rooms I've already been to. Oh, I can check out what my previous days were. That's nice. To relook at them, but I don't. I know that would use up all my steps. Each day, a meal is served in the dining room after rank 8 has been reached. I'm rank 3. So let's get the courtyard. Okay. Oh, shovel, shovel. I need to save up and get a shovel. I need to save up, get a shovel. I don't want the fucking chapel. Fuck you. Redraw it. I'm kind of screwed because no matter what I do, it's gonna be blocked off. So I'm gonna take the guest bedroom for the simple fact that that's gonna give me um extra steps. I want to write you a quick thank you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Ward Evanson, whose peculiar personality somewhat makes up for your own absence. I got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. So, like, this guy's ability to just, like, I played. No, I don't want to restart my phone. Fuck off. I said I said later. Um, I played a game years ago. I can't remember what it was called. It was a horror game, and it had like what it was is in the main room. David, I know you played this on your channel at some point, or you at least commented on me playing it. So you probably know what I'm talking about. It was like in the main like my main like hall main like foyer area, there was like this like dollhouse. It wasn't a dollhouse, but it was like a like if you took a dollhouse apart and had only the first floor, it was that. And throughout the game you could find these cubes that were like floor that were like rooms, and if you went back to that and that initial like diorama floor pan and you placed one, then when you went there it would let you go get into it. And I remember there was like I can't remember if there was like a monster or if it was just creepy atmosphere, but I remember that game. As always, enjoy your mathematical puzzles, and I appreciate I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. So I'm guessing this is like a tip for uh uh like if like I got to the darts section and I was struggling because like I'm like I don't know how to play darts. How am I supposed to figure this out? I could be like I could see this note and be like, okay, so it has nothing to do with the actual rules of darts. So let's figure this out. All right, now I got enough steps that I'm gonna go back through the house. Um, and recheck. I don't think of phone. Recheck notes that I found. Man, I will say it'll be fucking annoying if that one note was the only thing that the magnifying glass was any good for. I mean, I guess if it's like something that like now that I've used it, it'll never show up in the shop again. Oh, oh, that teaches you the dart game. That teaches you the dart game. Which I mean, I feel cool that I was able to figure it out myself, but was man secret that antechamber appears to be sealed by all four sides. Must be a way to open. All right. Man, they must. I will say they must not have had a lot of faith in the uh fucking gamers to figure out what the fuck to do with that dart game. I was able to kind of piece it together after a few tries. Then again, if you know anything about game testing, unfortunately, the way game testing is done is they get people that suck at games, and at times, sometimes they even just straight up just get people that don't play games at all because they want to make sure that the lowest common denominator can play the game. And I get making a game, wanting your game to be playable by all audiences. Like for instance, with The Last of Us Part Two, as much as there's things about that game that I really don't like, mostly to do with the story. And no, it's not what you think. It's not the you know rape sexist bullshit that is the reason most people don't like it. Um, I just think that the way they chose to tell the story was very, 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 very poorly done. Um, you can't have us have spend a whole game with one group of people and then it just doesn't work that way. Like with The Walking Dead, I know I've seen some scenes from like the new series where like apparently Negan and Maggie or whatever have to team up or something, and like he's talking about like his past and how he became who he was, and it's like, yeah, Negan's a great character and stuff, but it's like at the end of the day, no matter what the story is, no matter what story you set up, we're going to care about the characters that we follow. Okay. And uh doing what you did to us, and then later in the game spending 10 hours trying to get us to sympathize with a different character, that just doesn't work. The Last of Us 2 would have been 1,000 times better in my opinion if the way it worked was throughout the game, you went back and forth between Joel or Ellie and Abby, and maybe sometimes played as Joel. And at the beginning, uh, when you're playing as Abby, you're like, okay, who's this new group of people? What are we doing? And they're like, they're hunting something, they're tracking down something. I'm like, okay, so what's happening? And then like, uh, finally, like either through clues, like maybe they'll leave some clues that let you maybe figure it out ahead of time, but eventually you real during a conversation you realize they're hunting for Joel. It's like, oh shit. Um and give us more time with Joel, uh and the flashbacks they gave us, that doesn't count. Give us more time with each of these characters. Give us more time with Joel and more time with Ellie. So, because like having their big fight happen and then they are just starting to make up and then that shit happens, that's way too convenient. That makes the plot way too fucking convenient for to give like emotional, like, you know, not ambivalence, because that means the absence of feelings. Uh, I'm blanking on what the word for when you're feeling two conflicting emotions is. For some reason, I'm blanking on what that word is. Um, but uh, if you had like have and they had the budget for it, uh, have like at least like 5 or 6 hours of gameplay that leads up to the first time we see Abby when they're in that snowy, like that like ski resort area that they're in their first opening scene, and then they're tracking for someone, and then maybe have a scene when you're playing as Ellie and Joel where they're out and you see like the outside of the like settlement, and then like maybe have it be set in a way where you can't necessarily tell like that it's winter, or do like a time skip or something, so that then as you're playing as Abby, it doesn't cross your mind that they might be in the same area. And then they come across in like a area, and they're like, so this is the place, and then it pans over and you see them, it's like, oh, they're looking for us. um and then you have your flashbacks of like her and who her dad was and stuff, which I'm sorry, but anyone who saw those flashbacks of her dad and didn't see it for the blatant pandering, like just so try hard to make us feel for this character who was a complete nobody. Like I'll put it like this: one thing that I think really sums up how full of shit Neil Druckmann is when it comes to that game is if you play the first game and you look at the operating room, it looks kind of dirty, and when you see the flashback in the second game, it's a lot more clean because they realized that, and this is something that I've always said, and the sad thing is, if I had like enough like passion for the series, um, which when it was just the first game, maybe I was almost at that level of passion, but not quite. But if I had enough passion, there's like always been this fanfic idea I've had, and I'm just gonna say it. So if anyone wants to take a crack at it, they can. Um, this I've always had this idea of an alternate reality where Joel didn't stop them and let them do the harvest. And because here's the thing, here's why my defense for why anyone that thinks that what Joel did was wrong is a freaking moron who doesn't know shit about shit and should never be left alone around kids. Is first off, they did not tell Ellie what they were going to do to her. If you recall, when she wakes up in the car, she's confused that they're not at the hospital, but she's not confused about the fact that she's alive. There's no note, there's nothing indicating, and you can say, well, maybe they did. No, they did not tell her that what they were gonna that the operation was gonna kill her. That was done without her consent. And the reason they did that is they didn't want to chance her fighting back, especially knowing that, she is technically infected. So I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that within the story, um, if she bites someone, she can technically infect them. I think at one point she bites that one creepy guy, and mentions that she's infected and immune, so her bite can carry the virus. I might be misremembering that, but anyway, so uh, that's the fact that they didn't, tell her. Which it's like, if they had told them, and I guarantee you, Ellie, knowing what kind of person she is, she would have went for it, and she would have talked Joel into it. There would have been an emotional scene of them saying goodbye to each other, and you know her talking about the sacrifice she's going to make, and him, accepting it. But no, they had to lie, because that's what the Fireflies do. They're a bunch of fucking liars. If you read between the lines and you pay attention to the way the Fireflies act, they're your stereotypical, we're against the fascists, but in secret we're kind of fascists ourselves. Uh Fuck the man, but we're also the man ourselves, and if you don't follow our rules, then you're gonna get fucked. I promise you, unequivocally, I promise you beyond a shadow of a doubt, that if they were successful in the operation and it was successful in creating a cure, that cure would not have been given to everybody. The Fireflies would have immediately leveraged that cure for political gain, created an empire, had like people like bring tribute, and like have get people have to bring like trucks loads of like supplies and stuff just to get like one or two doses of the cure. Um they would have picked and choose who got the cure. There's no way in hell that they would have just like been like, hey, like they would like put on loudspeakers to like bandits and stuff. Hey, I know we've had our differences. You resorted to some bad stuff, but there's been a breakthrough. We have a cure. Come on in. Doesn't matter what you did in the past. Come on in. You can get the cure. That's not how it would have went. It would have been the cure goes to who they choose it to go to. So I like this idea of an alternate history, like fan fiction, and the only reason I haven't written is because I would have to study every single note in the game, every single bit of dialogue, just to make sure that I get every fact about each character right, and I just don't care enough to do that. But I love this idea of an alternate future where Joel did let them do that, but as they develop the cure, he's like hanging around, planning on going back home soon, and he kind of gets wind that like he says something Joel just offhandedly says something like, it'll be nice to be able to travel without having to deal with them bandits. And they're like, well, they're still gonna be bandits. He's like, well, I imagine they wouldn't be killing people on sight if they knew there was a cure. And they're like, well, we ain't gonna give cure to people like that. And then the tension starts building. And I love the idea of like, it's like 5 years later or whatever, and it like through a series of events, uh the Fireflies have become like this kind of totalitarian, like dictatorship uh government, and like Joel feels anger and regret at letting Ellie's sacrifice turn into this, and then he meets Abby, and when he finds out that her dad is the doctor that did that, he's angry at her, but she says that she too is angry that they're doing that, and that her dad, went along with it. Um, Either her dad's a bad guy and he went along with it to and then maybe there's like a scene where they confront him, or he was a good guy and then once the cure was finalized and he insists like he insisted there could be like a flashback of like he's like insisting that the cure be given to everyone and that copies be made to be just like airdropped to bandit territories so that everyone can have it, and like maybe they kill him or imprison him, and then like Joel and Abby team up because that's I can see that being what would happen, and I think that'd be a really cool fan because that's why from day one everyone always kept wanting to say that Joel doomed humanity. It's like, did you even play the fucking game? The whole point that they made throughout that entire fucking game was that the problem wasn't the zombies, the problem was people. Nearly every problem that happens in that game happens because of people. Happen every nearly every time that zombies get involved, it's because they're having to deal with people. They're having to like, sneak around and get away from people or something. I hate to break it to you, but in the world of The Last of Us, if people would just fucking work together, it'd be fine. Because the biggest thing you got is the bloater ones. Yeah, there's that one shambling, crazy, fucked up enemy that's in the second game in that like underground area that is probably what was probably the highlight of the game. Um, but for the most part, the types of enemies you've got, if mankind bands together, they can make settlements and they'd be able to thrive and they'd be able to slowly, methodically clear out the area of like the finding places that got spores, clean that out. Like I'm sure if you took flamethrowers or whatever to the spores, managed to destroy the actual mushrooms or whatever that made the spores, you could clear that out or quarantine it off. Um, the problem in that world is not the zombies, which is not anything new. That's kind of how it goes for most zombie stories. That's kind of the point, the interpersonal drama. Um, but yeah, like that's always been my opinion on that. I can't actually recall at all why I started talking about that. I honestly have no idea. I'll, it's gonna be funny when I go back on this footage and look to see why the fuck I started rambling about this, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. But I brought up The Last of Us for some reason. Um, I was talking about magnifying glass. I don't know. I don't know what caused me to bring it up, but yeah. I'm just using what steps I have left to check for wait. Mora Jai. the White Sea of, it looks like YORE, and I don't know what that last thing's supposed to be. I oh, it's the White Sea of Yore, and then on each side is a little design. Okay, all right. Well, at least it's good to know that the magnifying glass is going to have other uses. Yo. All right, whatever you say, buddy. Whatever you say. Seem to be anything hidden in that. Oh, I thought there was like something to see. I think it's just meant to be like coffee stains or some shit. Yeah. Yeah. Check for any notes. So I'm not sure what they want me to do here, but I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of like if you can get it to red and then change one next to it that's blue. Okay. I got them all purple. I don't know what that did. Man, it really seems like this would be one that would have something on it, you know? It really seems like there'd be something hidden in these buildings. Didn't really need a magnifying glass to see that that was a like moon type. Like I'm not expecting every single note to have something that the magnifying glass would help with. In fact, if it did, that would be annoying because it would require you to buy the magnifying glass fucking constantly. Or anything. 1809. I'm just writing down dates and numbers. There's that fence that has a code. It wouldn't fit this game because it's not a horror game, but it'd be crazy if like when I moved it over the eyes of that thing, they started moving or something. I think that's it. So, nope. Yeah. Uh, okay, I can. I don't really see what benefit that brought me, but it's a thing I could do apparently. 1809. Where's the other date? 1983. Oh, those are the only two dates I found. Um, yeah, I'll figure you out eventually. All right, so I'm gonna end it here. I did say that if it was interesting enough, I'd turn it into a full let's play. But unfortunately, the concept of being interesting enough has to go both ways. It has to be interesting enough for me to be enjoying it, but also make for interesting commentary. And I've kind of run out of what I can say. Like, obviously, as I find new rooms, I'd have things to say about that and like working over puzzles. But it seems like a lot of this game is going to be just doing runs, trying to hopefully get rooms you haven't got before or get money built up and then get a commissary so that you could buy a sledgehammer, uh get the salt, even though I have no idea what the salt would be for. um it seems like there's going to be a lot of repetitiveness, and the atmosphere and the pacing is good enough that I don't think the repetitiveness will get annoying. Like, I think that, like, even if I have like a run where pretty much nothing new happens, it won't be that big. It won't be that annoying because it's like a small amount of ground to cover. It's not like a run of like something like Binding of Isaac where you've sunk like 30 minutes into a run only to die to some bullshit enemy. Um, so I'm gonna continue this. What I might do is I might make a follow up video when I'm much further along, talking about, okay, so this is some of the stuff that's happened. This is where we are in the story. I might make a follow up after I'm done. I might make a review. But that was your first look at Blueprints. Uh, very cool concept. I really dig it, and I'm looking forward to playing more. Looking forward to playing more, not in a sat up, all my stuff around me, just laying back on the bed, just playing, enjoying the atmosphere. Looking forward to that. So, that's so it's thank you for watching. Thank you very, very much.